great player in transition, but once you get him in the half court, he's average. CC, is Dudley right about Ben Simmons?
Well, Dudley, from an offensive standpoint, we have to be real careful as far as what Dudley is talking about. In transition, Ben Simmons is a special basketball player. His overall athleticism, his ability to be able to dribble the ball at 6'9", to be able to pass with both hands, to have court vision that he does have, and to be unselfish. Those type of players, they're very rare. They're very rare. So in transition, he's hard to stop. He's like a guy that used to play with Showtime, James Worthy. Now, James Worthy, when he first got to Showtime, he was up and down, most of his shots inside of 15 feet. Now, as he grew his game, he could shoot a lot better than Ben early in his career, but as he grew his game and grew away from the bucket, but initially getting up and down. So if he could play that way more consistently, because my biggest problem with Ben is not that he can't shoot, it's that he allows people to exploit his inability to be able to shoot, because every game he doesn't play with the type of pace. He doesn't understand how he's got to be able to get his shot, and sometimes he goes back to the conventional way. I'm just going to be in a regular half-court offense, so that's frustrating for me, that he doesn't understand himself better, and that he doesn't get in transition offensively. And transition doesn't have to be getting the ball off the backboard and pushing it down the court. As a point guard, he can step back from the defender and move back right inside of half court, build up some momentum and attack the defense, because that's where he was really special in game number 2. Yes. And I just wish he would understand that more, because I have to keep judging him. He keeps trying to play like everyone else, running off picks, trying to set up. No, he can't play that way right now. And if he's going to be a one-dimensional player, then be the best at it and perfect it and do it most of the time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And in game 2, he did that. And that's in game 2 because it was, yes, it was in transition, but it was also in the half court. They were sagging off him so much, he was getting ahead of steam. Yes. And getting into the lane and forcing, making.
Because you shouldn't be able to stop him by him being 20 feet away and you staying in the lane. He's too athletic, too quick. He should be able to elevate over you on a regular basis.
And if he can't get a shot, he's tall enough, he can then hit open shooters. Ben Simmons is, to me, he's an A-plus player in transition. He is a very good defensive player to spot. He is limited in a stalled half-court offense. That's what Jared Dudley's talking about. And even me, a big Ben Simmons fan, knows that. Everybody knows that when you're watching it. Where I get frustrated in the conversation about him is, what was the big debate last year? Ben Simmons versus Donovan Mitchell, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rookie of the year.
And so I'd say it's fair to compare these two guys the same age. They've been in the league. Ben Simmons has been in the league 3 years, but this is his second year playing. Mm-hmm. Donovan Mitchell played the extra year at college, right? So all of that. Donovan Mitchell was 5 of 19 last night. He had 11 points. His team's going to get bounced in the first round.
This is the problem. No one's going to make that comparison, Nick, because we've moved on, because Donovan Mitchell was not a top 10 draft pick. He wasn't the first guy taken. He didn't sit out a year. He wasn't the most visible guy in college basketball like Ben was. So the comparison stopped after that.
Okay, so but then we've got to really decide who we are comparing him to. Because if we're
comparing him to Giannis.
That's just what I was about to say. If we are going to compare him to the guy who's going to win league MVP, who is in year 6, who might be the best player in the world, then he's going to come up short. But Giannis wasn't. If we're going to compare him to Giannis, I think it'd be more fair comparing to Giannis in year 2 or 3, because he's in year 2 or 3.
Sure.
Compare him to the guys that we want him to be. Is he Magic in year 2? Of course not. Magic, one of the 5 greatest players ever. To me, with Ben Simmons, when he has a bad game,
he came into the league, who'd they compare him to?
Magic. Of course, I got it.
And LeBron.
And LeBron.
LeBron called him what, the little prince?
Right, young prince, yeah. The young prince. And so if the standard is, if he's not Magic or LeBron, he's disappointment, then you know what, he's going to be a disappointment, because he's not going to be Magic or LeBron. But my frustration is, when he has a bad game, we focus on what he did wrong. And when he has a good game, we focus on why doesn't he do it more often. It feels like there's no way for him to win. At some point, the Sixers are going to get bounced, probably in the next round to Toronto, maybe in the 3rd round. And when they do, no matter what the other circumstances are, it's going to be about what Ben Simmons can't do. Well, now, he needs to – go ahead, I'm sorry.
A lot of pro sports is not about potential. Once you get in and you're starting to develop, it's about productivity. And He'd be much better off being compared to Magic as a young player compared to being compared to Giannis. Because if you look at Giannis made 18 threes in his first 37 games as a rookie. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons has attempted just 18 in 172 games. So if you're trying to compare him to Giannis, they are going like this in opposite directions.
Even if you don't compare him, I think it's what Steven Jackson said earlier. Let me see you at least try. Let me see you out there making it look like you're trying in the offseason, you're getting a little bit better. So if you do come up short, at least you're taking the shot.
The time for that, though,
is obviously not the postseason.
Is the offseason. The idea that he can't shoot, but he should shoot anyway and have
I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that.
Not in the postseason, but when you first start out this season, he hasn't been doing it at all. Maybe you start earlier on in the regular season and just getting yourself more comfortable with it, so it's not completely foreign to you.
Jenna, the problem with that is Ben Simmons knows his game better than us. So you don't have to listen to me. Ben Simmons knows he can't shoot. And that's why he's not shooting.
That's why
now, I support that because I know he doesn't have a shot. But that comes from not the diligence in the offseason to lock yourself in a gym and to develop a jump shot.
And that is that criticism I will totally sign off on. It's totally fair.
That's music. That means we got to go. Much more first things.